What's going on, YouTube? It's Q back here again with another video for you. In today's video, I'm here to compare the ND1 Miata versus the ND3 Miata. So for those that don't know, the ND1 Miata is the 4th generation, but this is the first iteration. The ND3, this is a 2024, and I believe this is a 2016. This is the 2024 model, so the 3rd iteration of it, and there's an ND2 in between that as well. But this is zircon sand versus the crystal red. Oh, soul red, there we go. Soul red crystal, I can't remember the name. So many colors of so many different car companies. But this one right here, both of these are Grand Tourings. So I'm here at City of Cars. Shout out to the owner right there. If you're ever looking for a car, come check out cityofcars.com. They just got this new GT500, track package. A bunch of other cars too. Got the Durango 392 behind me. I'm going to review all these cars I can, guys. But back to these Miatas, we got the Grand Touring. You notice the wheels changed on these, both soft tops. But this is going to be more of a how does it drive? Because we got a power bump. We went from 100 and, well, this one has like 150 horsepower versus a 181 horsepower. So I want to know, is the ND1 still fun to drive? You can get one of these. This one is available for sale at City of Cars for about $20,000 with the miles that it has on it. New one of these is going to be about $35,000. So let's take a quick walk around real quick before we jump into the things. I see that we do have these graphite wheels. Looks good. This is not zircon sand. This soul red is just such a great looking color, like a cherry red. So dynamic, especially in the sunlight out here. Then we got zircon sand. It's my consolation prize. Not as dynamic, but still a good color because we got a boring palette on such a fun car. Want to notice some subtle changes like the wheels. Tail lights were redesigned on the ND3. Tail lights on there a little plain. Got a little bit of Ferrari-esque type thing going on. This one is more so plain. The headlights were changed with the LEDs on there. The wheels. A few things on the interior. Like I said, the headlights. Got daytime running LEDs on inside the LEDs or the headlights. And with our DRLs are in the bumper down here in the fog light area, so we don't have that on the ND3. Coming on in the inside, I'm gonna make this brief, I promise y'all. I really do promise you. So we're gonna have a couple of, ooh, I like this carpet down here. Got the red perforation, that's got to be aftermarket. So on the interior, everything's gonna be pretty similar. I do see that we got red stitching in here. That's not gonna be on my car, it's like gray stitching. So there were some updates, definitely the infotainment screen, and some updates to it. The mirror is rimless now. And I got a few things done on mine. Different steering wheel. Added this armrest. See, the infotainment screen is larger. Just looks a little bit updated in here, as it should over the years. Got the gray stitching. But yeah, that about it. So the question we all came here to see is, how's the ND1 going to stack up against the ND3 Miata? Let's find out. But before we do, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell, browse the channel. Let's jump into it. We're going to start off by getting in City of Cars car. So let's check out the ND1 Miata. It's a little bit wear on it, but it is used. It's a few years old, like 8 years old now. But it's still a goodie though. That's the best part about it. You can get one at a much cheaper rate, and it might arguably be more fun to drive. Oh dang, this thing don't tilt out. No! Alright. Dang, does my steering wheel tilt? We'll find out later if I remember. So in the Miata, I sit with my seat all the way back because I'm like at the threshold of being too tall. I notice we got a little bit of sag in the soft top in the back. Comes with age. But let's hit the road, see how it is to drive. Uh-oh, is there no rear view camera on here? Yeah, this is before 2018. They made it mandatory in 2018. FMVSS 111. You gotta love it. Ooh, that shifter feels crisp already. The GT. So glad it's apples to apples. But check out the rest of the cars here at City of Cars. They got a bunch of stuff. See that Quadrifoglio, that Alfa Romeo. Plenty of cars for everybody. So I'm looking at the odometer, the RPMs don't go as high. My car is like 7,000. It looks just shy of that in here. This could be 7,000 as well, but I don't know. The solid line is right at 7,000. I feel like mine's revs a little bit higher. Hey, starting off, it doesn't feel any slower though. Shout out to my car. This car is gonna be fun in any iteration from NA to ND, NA1 to ND3. Just such a fun car. People are gonna say they're slow. Driving it, this is a feeler car. Forget the numbers, throw all the numbers out the window. This car just feels, it doesn't feel that slow compared to mine. I know 0 to 60 is probably a little over 6 seconds, maybe 6.5, and my car tested is 5.5 seconds. So there is some differences in that aspect of it, but feeling, this is a feeler's car. Forget your numbers, throw it all out the window. This is all about the enjoyment, in which I will let the top down if it wasn't high noon out here. Feel it in third gear. That's where it's gonna lose a little bit of compared to the ND3 that I got. So mine would continue to pull hard until it gets to about fourth gear. This one kind of loses it in third. Curious about the weight difference. They're gonna be about in the same realm. You just get about 30 more horsepower in the ND3. But that's not to say that this is still not a great car. It's still very engaging. Drop a gear, shit are still great. Got some engine noises going. From what I'm told, and the comments that I get on these Miata videos, like it'd be a lot of misinformation spread to where I got to go back to the drawing board. That's why I always preface this with I heard or somebody told me, because these aren't things that I know for sure. But from what I'm told, this is straight out of a Mazda 3, the engine. Okay, we got the safety systems going. They see us, taking care of us, so we don't lose out on all the features. And this is one of the cars that I rented when I went down to Florida. Check out that video. That car was very in terrible condition. The tires was messed up. The top was bad, but this is much better, much better condition. That car was just jacked up. I don't even know how I got on Turo. But this car right here is a fine example, and that's what City of Cars they specialize in. They started off the business as taking in leased cars, but a lot of the cars that they get are newer, gently used. You can trust City of Cars. But yeah, for the ND3, that power bump, they tuned it for the Miata. But this car, from what I'm told, let me preface that again, was taken like straight from the Mazda 3, so it's going to lack some of the characteristics that a Miata should have, or that an ND2 and above has. But the steering on here is still sublime. This is a very fun experience without having to break the speed limits on here. And that's the fun part. Very streetable car. You can make this a very capable track car, as the Miatas do. Y'all know that. Y'all love the Miatas. As do I. Today, I don't know if I'm going to take this on the highway because I got to do 2 cars. But let me know if y'all like this format of the video, just getting straight to the driving part as opposed to going through all the features. Like, I can't help not talking about some of the features. Took that turn like a champ. So I noticed by stabbing the pedal, my traction control light didn't turn on. On my car, that would have happened. So I guess there's a little bit more torque coming through there too with that powertrain. But this is a fine engine. Especially if we want to save some money, you want to save 15 grand. This car is barely used. You're going to miss some of the newer technologies. But some people don't care about that. I do. I like my luxuries. I done got up in age. I like my features, technology. Gotta love it. I already noticed in the parking lot, turning radius. This might be the greatest turning. This is the greatest turning radius of any car I've ever driven. The Miata, that is. And my car does that too. But y'all gonna see it when I get to it. Oh, there we go. ND. Y'all see that sign right there? ND Industries. All right, we're about to do the quickest 0 to 60 that we've ever seen. As this lady is, she about to walk across the street. Yep. Oh, she heard that engine roar. She's scared. Nah, let me get on by. But let me take off. She didn't even turn around. Oh, that power cut off slightly before we got to 7,000. But yeah, you can roll through all of your gears, man, a lot of the times. A lot of newer cars, that's what I don't like. You can't roll through the gears. The Miata, you're going to be in tear all the gears up. Not tear them up, but experience them all in their glory. And the handling, too. You know, a lot of people don't like the roll of the Miata. I'm not really noticing that. If you hear some sliding noise, I think it's something in the glove box here, maybe in the trunk sliding around. But the roll on here doesn't bother me. It's not like, oh man, this thing like a boat. It still handles well, but some people are going to want the taut suspension, which this is not taut, but this can be driven every day. If you want a comfortable, compliant ride, this is going to be the ticket, especially with the GT. I don't know if this got the LSD in this form. In the ND1, you might have had to get the club to get the LSD. Somebody let me know for the US spec Miatas, the ND1s. Did you get the, I know with the ND2s, I'm pretty sure it got the LSD, but I'm not sure about the ND1. Somebody let me know, or we're going to have to fact check again, because I keep asking and I always get these varying answers. I don't be knowing. Sitting at this everlasting light here, I noticed we got a tire pressure set, traction control off. On mine, it has a track mode button that's new for the ND3s. Everything else is pretty much the same. I see we got heated seats here. There's this Subaru trying to take off on me. Boy, if we don't get... Subaru is the ops. Sorry y'all have to hear that. But even over uneven roads, the suspension is super compliant. You gotta love the Miata. But the power, that's going to be the big difference between this and the ND3, which we're about to get around to hopping into in just a moment here. Fast revving. Woo. That second gear, that's the ticket. Normally more powerful cars, third gears be the one that pew. And this car is second gear. Y'all see that car right there? That's from a car called Lavalier. I used to work alongside with them. They make cameras and forward collision warning, radars, lidars, things of that nature. Just a little tidbit being in the engineering field. Like all of that stuff is here. Like people want to know why anybody would move to Michigan. Well, mainly for the automotive field, which I'm in the automotive field as an automotive engineer. But it's a lot of suppliers here that do a lot of different things for the whole auto industry. And the whole auto industry is here. You got Ford, GM, Chrysler, Mercedes, Volkswagen, Nissan, Toyota. They're all centrally located nearby. Honda's in Ohio. They're a little bit further away, but they got remote offices up here as well. Ciao. All right, doing that one more time. I'm noticing it runs out of steam a little bit quicker. Let us go this other way. So my car feels like it pulls a little bit harder up top, but we gonna verify that as soon as I hop into it. So we're about to pull around to City of Cars once again. Once again, man, check out the YouTube channel, check out the website. If you're looking for a car, they ship across the country as well. So one-stop shop financing, all that good stuff. They always have enthusiast cars as well as normal daily drivers as well. They got a great selection right now. It's about 10 cars I want to drive, but let us pull this back up in the shop. I ain't got no rear view camera up on this thing. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to pull in the garage. I've been baby for so long. Help me. What am I gonna do? I'm gonna try it out so I ain't gotta take this GoPro off. Look over the shoulder. Visibility is great, especially if I let the top back. I might need to do that though too. But no, you can see out of this car. Visibility is pretty good with a camera on my head. So there goes that. Oops, didn't knock the camera, probably didn't whacked it off. All right, oh, I can't say that. But yeah, let me get this car in here. All right, hopping into my ND3. Gonna notice a little bit of differences. Not much though. Mazda believes in refining the Mazda Miata, or MX-5 if you want to get technical, every so often. So they make it progressively better over the years. So up in here, I got the beefier steering wheel. I got this armrest, which is much better than the stock. It has like a couple inches of padding to where I don't bump this while I'm driving. But let's head to the road, see what it's like to drive an ND3 with only 2,400 miles. Taking off my car, already can tell up in that higher power band. Oh yeah, this car is definitely faster. I must have been tripping the last time. A little 5-10 minute break that I was taking before I switched in. I don't know, but I can definitely tell. But let's hold on. Let's get a little bit more seat time before we pass judgment on it. So while I'm sitting here for an eternity, we got the track buttons, traction control. Like, we don't have that tire pressure light over there. We do have automatic high beams, as this is a GT to GT. Button layout still the same. We got USB-Cs instead of USB-A. Got heated seats in here. What else? The gauge is a little bit more digital, slightly different, but it still has mainly the same functionality. We do have it where it does read the signage on the road. A welcome upgrade. The middle and the gauge on the right seems to be like the same. I'm not noticing much of a difference. And the top in here is a new car. Don't really sag like that. Pretty sure that's a cheap fix, but the age of a car. Soft top, you gotta maintain these things. You even gotta drain the water out. I guess Miatas in general lose steam when they get very high up in the revs. Cause I could have sworn this car pulled harder. It does pull harder than the ND1, but I thought it was gonna be a much bigger difference. So the Miatas, like I said, aren't perfect out the box. I thought the steering wheel was too thin, so I changed that with this beefier steering wheel, this armrest, a nice added touch. What else? I got window tint, but I do that with any car. Suspension, one day I might change the suspension to something a little more hardcore, stiffer. I do have an exhaust on here, so in the previous car you would hear the engine more, but in this car you're gonna hear the exhaust. So I got the Goodwin Race exhaust. The loud is the louder one, and it's not too loud. People say it's loud, but that's relatively speaking. It's probably loud for a Miata, but I don't know, when you have Hellcats and Mustangs with H-pipes and all that stuff, like, this ain't nothing. And the downshift rev match is so easy in both of these cars. The toe spacing, excellent down here. Very easy to drive this car. Be a good first car for all levels. The shifter's amazing in these cars. Amazing shifter in both of these Miatas. Even the one that's like 8 years old, it's got some age on it, but it still shifts like a new car. Can we make the light? Praise him, we did. That's a long light right there. Handling the curves. It's gonna be the fun part. We'll be at higher speeds, but we gotta follow the law of the land. Get an exhaust on here. This Goodwin does a little bit of burbling too, which adds a lot of character to the vehicle. This car already has a ton of character to it, but if you like Miatas, you really enjoy driving inputs. All the driving inputs are excellent, and they made even more improvements to the steering rack on this car. I'm not exactly sure if you're gonna feel that day to day. Like I said, traction control on that turn, it is gonna start blaring at you in this car just because it does have that extra punch to it. turning radius, I can't imagine that being any different from the ND1. But we gonna test it out. Best turning radius of any car on the market. Let's go back to our ND starting line. I got that put there for us, folks. All right. 3, 2, 1. You get a little bit of tire chirp on here. That's something I ain't get in the ND1. So that power, you can recognize it. It is recognizable that this car has more power. So more power to the ND3. So which one should you get? So I think the obvious answer is whichever one you can afford. That's always first and foremost. But that's not going to be the choice for every person, because you could just save on money. It's a better value would definitely be the ND1. You're just going to lose out on like a rear view camera, wireless CarPlay, because fumbling with Bluetooth in the car, if a car don't got Bluetooth or not Bluetooth, but Apple CarPlay or Android Auto, I would hate to have it, because the one I rented in Florida, that was an ND1, the raggedy one, but that car, it just had Bluetooth. It was kind of hard to fumble around. It did have an onboard navigation system in it, but that thing was the route that it had me going to the airport. I would have missed my flight. So if you just Apple Maps, Google, Waze, all those, I gotta have that. And it's hard to fumble with a phone while having a manual. That's why it's so pertinent to have one of these kind of hands-free systems in the car, with a projection system, that is. Bluetooth, that ain't gonna cut it in this day and age. But that just goes to show the age of the vehicle. Times has changed. I'm glad they updated it. They had to update the rear view camera. You can get on this car each and every day, and the powertrain is very reliable. Ain't got nothing to worry about with these 2 liters, both of them, that is. So they've been out for some years. Nothing to worry about here in the powertrain. You can beat on it all day long. Take it to the track, drive it home, drive it to the track, beat on it, and be a regular car the next day for work. So which one is right for you? It's all going to come down to price, in my honest opinion, and some features. If you don't care about any technology, ND1 is going to be the right one for you. But that ain't me. But if you want the latest and greatest, all the finest refinements that Mazda had to do before they come out with that hybrid system that they're going to put in the next generation Miata, then the ND3 might be the one for you, because this could be the last hurrah for this ND platform, which it probably is. So drop a comment, let me know which Miata you have, or if you're on the market, which one would you rather buy? Because I'm curious to know. Like, I still ND3, it depends on the situation, man, because I like both of them. If it's a weekend only car, I would entertain just having the ND1, because I don't have to worry about all the navigation all the time. But I drive this car most days, so it fits that bill. But like I said, we'll talk about it in the comment section. So that's all I got to say about that. Y'all make sure y'all drive safe, and I'll catch y'all in the next video. Peace out.